This Delta Math topic is use structure 1, 0, or infinitely many solutions, okay? So basically most of the equations that you guys are used to dealing with have one solution, x equals something, right? But sometimes it's not possible. It's like you're like x, or like you can simplify it and be like 7 equals 13. You're like, what? Or it'd be like 2 equals 2. And that doesn't seem to make sense either. So that's when you have no solution or infinitely many solutions. And my advice on this section is if you don't have the notes that we took in class, cough, cough, you need to maybe miss a problem or just try a quick problem, and then the notes will show up in the explanation, and then you can copy those down to remind yourself, okay? So the first question says this: complete the sentence based on the equation shown below. So if we know a couple things, we want to simplify our equation to the point where we can get how many x's we have on each side of the equal sign, x's or whatever your variable is, a or b or q or whatever. Okay, you're looking at how many times you're multiplying your variable, and then you want to look at your constants. Are we adding 3 to both sides? Are we adding 3 and subtracting 5? Are we doing the same things or different things? So if we have the same exact, this actually, you know what, I'm pausing, I'm gonna move ahead and get this quote unquote right or wrong. And then we're gonna look at our notes, okay? So they're saying some amount of x's minus 3, actually negative 3 halves x's minus 3 equals some amount of x's h. They put h, I don't know why. They should have just used like an empty box, that's all that means. And then we subtract 8. Okay, and it says the equation will have 0 solutions or no solutions, not possible when h equals what number? Okay, like you could be like, I don't know, there's like a billion numbers out there, right? More than that, but you get the idea. Okay, because you get 0 solutions when you have blank number of x's on either side of the equation and blank. Okay, that's a lot. You have to really sort of like get into their head. And these are the kinds of problems that like once you start answering them, like, oh, okay, all right, I see what they're looking for. Okay, so here's the deal. The answer in this case is it's the same amount of x's on the left and the right, because you get 0 solutions when you have the same number of x's, but different constants. It's not possible to do the same thing to the x on both sides, but then change it up with your constants. You can't say like 5 times a number plus 2 equals 5 times that same number minus 3. Like you can't just do that. You can't multiply by the same number and then change things up and expect it to be equal. That's not possible, no solution, okay? So here's where the answers are gonna come in a little bit handier for you, okay? They tell you, they give you this chart, and on that chart, it says, all right, no solutions, 0 solutions when you have the same number of x's, but different constants, okay? Infinitely many solutions when everything on both sides is the same, okay? Like a mirror, looking in a mirror, and you see that reflection going on forever and ever into infinity and beyond, right? So the same number of x's and same constants means you could put any number in there, and if you're doing the same stuff each side, it's going to be equal all the time, okay? Then one solution is when we just have a different number of x's, and the constants can be, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It can be same, different, doesn't matter. If you just have different amounts of x's on each side, you're going to get to the point where you're going to have like, you know, your amount of x's and everything else, and you'll be able to solve. So this is your little BFF if you don't have notes with you right now, and you have to make sense of those problems. We'll do one other example right here. It says I've got 3x plus 2 and 3x plus, I don't know, okay? And they're looking for you to have infinitely many solutions. So like they want any number to be put in there for x and for it to work, okay? Don't be thrown off by the whole h thing. Just think of this as almost like an empty box. So if you want it to have infinitely many solutions, h is going to have to be the same exact thing on the other as the other side. So it's going to have to be 2, okay? Because when you have the same number of x's and the same constants, it's going to be infinitely many solutions. And so this is kind of what they're looking for, the 2, the same, and the same, okay? And that, like I said, that chart is going to be helpful for you, and they're going to highlight what you need to know. And it looks like a lot of words. Don't be scared to read it and make sense of it. You have to persevere in that understanding. And so we did that actually in class today, so hopefully you guys took it. Bye.